Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm with Adamo here for the big match, of course, starting in just about 20 minutes. The Derby della Madonnina, Inter versus AC Milan at the San Siro. It's a match that we've all been waiting for a few days now, or at least a whole week. Derby della Madonnina always builds a special matchup, really. Even though these two teams have not been doing too well in the season, you know, it's always a match that you don't want to lose. It's a match that you want to see with much entertainment, a match that obviously we want to win. And I do surely hope so that Milan out today to kick some Inter ass, because, guys, don't forget, always Inter merda and Forza Milan. Of course, guys, now it's going to be a big matchup. Of course, usually these teams are seen in other positions in the standings. This is not the case this year as it was in the previous years, but the excitement of the match still remains. And, of course, what is important is to pick up a result and, of course, still hope for the league. But I'm with Adamo, which will fill us in a bit more on this particular matchup, of course, and we are just so excited and we just can't wait to start. Adamo, what do you expect from this matchup? Of course, we'll be talking a bit about the starting lineups shortly after, but when you think about Inter versus AC Milan, what do you think of?
Well, overall, I know even though the teams are in a poor moment, obviously it's clear Inter going through a youth project, Milan wanting to go through a youth project, but have not really got that down pat yet. But the two teams still, although not of the highest quality as we saw back in the days, obviously that's pretty clear that we see now. But hopefully the aura is still there. You know, the fans are obviously going to be going wild because a derby is a derby, regardless of who's on the pitch. It still has the same meaning. You know, it's all for the same reason. And although we might not be fighting for Champions League or first place, it's still the derby, and it's a big, big event for all Milan fans.
Well said, well said. And of course, this location won't be any different to any others. As I said before, let's just hope we actually go out to play and win. You don't want to see any boring crap altogether this match. You want to see an excitement from both sides, a very tight matchup, which we hopefully end up putting in the bag. But without further ado, guys, let's take a look at the starting 11, because this is the most important part of the team, of course. This is the team that will go out and fight for their lives, hopefully, to get the 3 points and to keep and give the pride to the Milan fans. Now, starting in net, Diego Lopez, back four made up of Abate. Alex will be replacing Paletta. Of course, we had mentioned in the match preview that Paletta was likely to start. However, that's not the case, as Alex will be starting now after Inzaghi made that decision. Mexes and Antonelli, the other components of this back four. In the midfield, Poli will be starting on the right, De Jong in the middle, Van Ginkel on the left. No change there. But the biggest change, and of course, something that we didn't really expect after what Inzaghi had mentioned in previous days, after what everyone was kind of thinking of not happening, is that Suso will be starting from the first minute. I think this is actually his first ever time that he will be starting from the very first minute for Milan in a competitive and official match. So he will be starting on the right, like Adamo had suggested in the match preview, and he will be starting over on a guy that, of course, didn't have the best of second halves of the season, while in the first half he actually did quite well, scoring 6 goals, I believe. But in other words, he's still not match fit to actually be starting in the derby, while Suso actually showed a lot in the few minutes that he actually played in the past few weeks. Therefore, of course, he deserves that chance to start in this particular match, in this very exciting match. And that is why I entitled this video, Suso's Chance Is Now, because this is where he needs to make the difference. This is where he needs to prove Inzaghi wrong. This is where he has to shut down the critics. And, of course, once again, support the fans' message of saying that he should be the one starting instead of other players. So this is his chance. This is a big chance. Big moment for him. Also, big move Van Ginkel, where he's still very young. You know, this is going to be his first derby, I think, playing for Milan. So big moment for these youngsters, which hopefully turn up and give us the win. And the other two players will be, of course, Menez in the middle, Bonaventura on the left. Now, Adamo, on paper, you know, you can't really argue with this side put down by Inzaghi. Maybe your only objection to this lineup will be Alex starting in the back four, or maybe not. Maybe you actually prefer him to Paletta. Overall, Adamo, what are your thoughts on this lineup and how you think it could fare against Inter?
Well, as you mentioned, Alex will be replacing Paletta, which is interesting. Alex obviously coming back from an injury. His form before the injury wasn't too good, so this may be a mistake by Inzaghi, but it could turn out to pay out. Hopefully it does. You know, Alex is very, very good on set pieces, whether he's taking them or the one heading the goals in. So he could be very, very useful, and hopefully on the defensive side, he stays intact and doesn't make too many mistakes. Now with Suso, I'm actually very, very happy that he's playing. A lot of people saying, oh, maybe he's too overrated, and this might not be the good time to play him because it's a very, very important match. But I do think that Suso can really help Milan in the long run.
Yeah, well said there. Of course, as I said, it's going to be a very big match for him, not only because it's a derby, but it's a match where, with such great importance, if he actually does shine in this match, who knows, this might earn him very much more call-ups in the near future, in the next 7 remaining games. Who knows, he might actually be starting games rather than sitting on the bench and playing for 15-20 minutes. So, of course, this is a big occasion for all the fans to see what Suso is made up of. Of course, much emphasis on him in these past few weeks, saying that he has to be given a chance. His chances now, so let's see if Suso could take it. Without further ado, Adamo, let's take a look a bit, or maybe discuss some predictions, because of course it's gonna be a tight match. No, not much separating these teams in the standings, and on paper they seem quite even. What are your predictions? Scoreline, maybe goal scorers. Let us know.
I'm going to stick with the 1-1 draw that I predicted earlier on, mainly due to the fact, as you said, these teams, there's not much between them. They're very, very even sides. A lot of Inter fans disappointed at the fact that Shaqiri isn't starting, and one of their other Primavera players is actually taking his place with Hernandez, starting at the attacking midfield role where Shaqiri would be. So I'm going to stick with a 1-1 draw. Hopefully Suso scores. Maybe he could shut a lot of fans up. Maybe fans of other teams that have been kind of against him, saying he's overrated and such. And we'll kind of see his talent if he can handle under the pressure that he's playing in the derby. So I'm going to stick with a draw, but I take a win, obviously.
Yeah, of course, Inter's going to be playing with a 4-3-1-2, and as Adamo mentioned, a very good point there. I'm not sure if I'm even pronouncing this right, but Nukuri will be starting for Inter, and of course, this is going to be a very big matchup for himself. So some new faces, some new players that you wouldn't be expecting really to start in the derby will be featuring for both of these teams. Hopefully, it's a very exciting match. Hopefully, Milan do pick up the points, which, once again, I repeat, this could be do or die for them. Well, actually, every match from here on to the end is do or die. But this could be really that matchup which will set the tone, whether they still have that chance or not. Also, another point I want to make is that if Milan do actually win this match, they will be only 4 points away from Fiorentina, which is still very doable. Of course, Fiorentina still haven't played this week, and they will be playing tomorrow against Hellas Verona. But just to announce that it's still very tight, and with 7 games left after this one, anything could happen. Without any much more to say, just want to let you guys to enjoy a very good match. Of course, hopefully a very exciting match, one that Milan will come out and win for the fans, for the Presidente, of course, as Galliani would say, or Inzaghi would say, the one and only. But as I said, I hope we do win, and hopefully we do experience a very entertaining match with Milan winning, and of course giving some pride to the fans. We'll be seeing you, of course, after the match for the match review discussion. So make sure to subscribe to Rossoneri TV if you haven't yet. For everything AC Milan, we've got it here. The only channel on YouTube for AC Milan fans that actually does this. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on Twitter at Rossoneri TV, at Adamo Ritaco for more insight throughout the match. If you guys want to hear our thoughts throughout the match, that is a perfect place to do so. Thank you for watching. We'll be seeing you after the match. And as always, Forza Milan and Inter Merda.